Okay, my friend, all you got to do is speak these 6 money phrases and then watch what happens to your bank account because these 6 phrases are scientifically proven to train your brain for financial abundance. So in 1995, there was a study published in the Journal of Neurophysiology, and it demonstrated the really miraculous effects of mental rehearsal and the effects that that has on developing neural networks in your brain. Now, I suck at piano, but what they did is they took 4 different groups of people that were total chumps at the piano like me, people that weren't good at all. And they did a 5-day study in 4 different groups. So in one group, they asked them to memorize a specific one-handed 5-finger sequence that they physically practiced for 2 hours a day for the 5 days. So they actually, with one hand, are practicing this. And then in the second group, they asked them to play the piano without any instruction or knowledge at all. So they would take someone like me that doesn't know anything about the piano and they would say, go hit around on the keys for 2 hours a day and just try to get a little familiar with the piano. And then in group number 3, they had them never actually touch a piano, but they were sitting in on the same instructions as group number 1 when they taught group number 1 the specific one-handed 5-finger sequence. So they taught that same sequence to group number 3, but instead of having them use the pianos, they had them mentally rehearse it for 2 hours a day, imagining themselves in the experience playing the piano for 2 hours every day during the experiment, but they never touched it. And then in group number 4, they had their control group, right? So control group did absolutely nothing at all. And then this is where it gets pretty interesting. The researchers used transcranial magnetic stimulation devices to measure the brain activity of all the different participants. That's kind of a tongue twister, so we'll just call it TMS. So it's electrode devices that go on the top of your brain, and then they can measure the different brain activity and what's going on, what's different parts of your brains are signaling, and they're able to observe all the 4 different groups. And at the end of the 5 days, group number 3 showed nearly identical changes in the brain to group number 1 in terms of the expansion and development of their neural networks. But group number 2, they didn't have any change. So think about how crazy this is. Group number 1 played this specific actual sequence. Group number 3 imagined it. And then the other group is sitting around banging around. Well, the group that imagined it and the group that actually did it had nearly identical neural cell activity, brain waves, and stimulating the same parts of their brain as if they were playing it, even though they were just imagining it. So my point is that these are scientifically proven to work, that your brain can actually change to a reality that hasn't happened yet. But then the question is, how do you actually do it? The first part of that is these 6 money phrases that I'm about to give to you, but what's just as important is how you actually use them. And there is a scientific study in the book Atomic Habits on how to actually do this. So in the British Journal of Health in 2001, researchers in Great Britain started to work with 248 people to help them build better exercise habits over a 2-week period. So they take all these people and they divide them up into 3 groups. And the first group's the control group, right? So they do nothing and they're asked to just track their existing exercise. And then the second group was what they called the motivation group. So basically what they did with this group is they not only tracked their workouts, but they also had them read materials on the benefits of exercise and get them all fired up, right? So the researchers explained to them that exercise could reduce their heart risk and it could improve their mental and physical health. And then they had the third group. And in the third group, they get the exact same presentation. So They have the same knowledge base, they've got the motivation, but they did something else interesting with the third group. They had them actually formulate a plan for when and where they would be doing this exercise over the following week. So specifically, what they ended up doing is they had each member of the third group complete the following sentence. And you'll see it here popping up on the screen. This is from the book Atomic Habits. And it says, quote, "During the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on blank day at blank time in blank place." Okay, so the results were pretty crazy, and they were published in the British Journal of Health. And so in the first and second groups, they had a 35 to 38% range of people that exercised at least once a week. But in the last group, they had a 91%. So they at least doubled it just by having an implementation intention, which was basically just a plan beforehand about when and where they were going to do it that focused on two common cues that have been scientifically proven to trigger a habit in a time and a location. So implementation is time and location. So before I give you these 6 money phrases, I just want you to build your own implementation intention. So for example, I do these every morning. I wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. I like to work before my daughter wakes up and get a whole bunch of work done. So I wake up, I take a shower, I come into my office where I am now, and I play my success hypnosis really lightly. I write all of my success affirmations down on paper, and then I read them out loud. If you want to use my success hypnosis, it's right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. About 1.3 million people from all over the world have used it, which is kind of crazy in and of itself. It's free, and you can just listen to it quietly while you kind of get into the vibe. So you need to pick the location and the time. So are you going to do this in front of your bathroom mirror when you wake up and you brush your teeth? Are you going to do this when you're parked in your car in the morning before you walk into work? Are you going to do it in your office? Where are you going to do it, and when are you going to do it? So now that you got those all dialed, let's dive into these 6 money phrases that you now have a specific time and location, knowing that it is scientifically proven that your brain doesn't know the difference between an imagined scenario and a real scenario. So what you're going to do is actually begin to train your brain the same way that the people that were just imagining and mentally rehearsing playing the piano, but were still having the same brain transformations as if they were really doing it. These 6 money phrases and using an implementation intention is going to send the triggers to your brain that prosperity's here, that prosperity is already here. Your brain goes from your current reality, or broke, your brain thinks it's broke, or your brain thinks it's just getting by, to now your brain is absolutely 100% convinced that you're financially free, and now your brain's going to create that reality for you. So number 1, every day in every way, I attract greater and greater financial opportunities. Every day in every way, I attract greater and greater financial opportunities. Notice the way that kind of flows and rhymes. It's just a new pattern that's entering right into your brain. So let's repeat it one more time. Take a nice deep breath in and out, and it is time to upgrade your brain. Every day, in every way, I attract greater and greater financial opportunities. Number 2, God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of financial abundance. God's wealth flows to me in avalanches of financial abundance. That's one of my favorite ones because it just makes me feel good. And I know when I feel it, it feels good. It feels soulful. My brain kicks into high gear. You get the neural activity. Oh gosh. The brain says, oh, I guess Chief actually is attracting God's wealth in avalanches of abundance. Okay, time to create the shifts, time to create the money. So let's repeat it from the top again. God's wealth flows to you in avalanches of abundance. Number 3, I am one with the infinite source of wealth, which guides me to greater abundance. I'm one with the infinite source of wealth, which guides me to greater abundance. I like to close my eyes when I say that one because I imagine that it's guiding and directing me to greater prosperity. So if you can, imagine it with me. You're being guided and directed. I am one with the infinite source of wealth, which guides me to greater abundance. Number 4, I attract the perfect people and the perfect resources at the perfect time. I attract the perfect people and the perfect resources at the perfect time. Comment that one down below. That one's like, people get so hung up that you think, I don't have the resources. I don't have the right person. I don't have the right network. I don't have the right circumstances. Say it. I attract the perfect people, the perfect resources at the perfect time. Number 5, I am financially free. My income grows steadily. I'm financially free. My income grows steadily. It almost could be a rhyme in a song. Notice the pattern. Again, your brain's now updating to a new pattern. You can feel it. Your brain is now being trained for financial prosperity. So one more time for number 5. I am financially free. My income grows steadily. Okay, number 6. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That was the first affirmation I ever memorized. It comes from Bob Proctor. So if you commit these to memory, they're going to go into your brain way quicker. They're going to go into your brain way faster. Each money phrase has its own unique energy signature, its own electromagnetic frequency. And the cells in your brain emit and produce electromagnetic frequencies based off of your thoughts and your emotions. Now, when you memorize it, you can enter into the emotion of it even easier. So let's repeat it one more time. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. So I'm going to go ahead and put these 6 money phrases in the description and pin to the comments. You can put them in your iPhone or print them out. You have your implementation intention, and now you have the scientific proof that your brain will respond with the exact same brain activity as if you were already wealthy, as if you're already in your dream house, as if you were already in your dream car, as if you already were rich, as if you already were flying first class and buying your car in cash, buying your mom a house. If that was reality, your brain would be operating a certain way. But if you repeat these 6 money phrases and use the implementation intention, you're going to get the exact same brain chemistry results. So if you like this video, let me know in the comments down below. I spend a lot of time on these videos, so it's always great to hear from you if you enjoy it. So be sure to let me know and check out my free success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com. Pinned to the comments and in the description, it's my free success hypnosis you can listen to when you do these 6 money phrases. And I will see you on the next video.